Hello anybody and welcome back to Let's Play Rogue Legacy. I'm Mr. Devious, or just Deeb, and in the last episode, we beat the game. We finished it, and this is the new title screen. And having defeated the Fountain and have brought in honor back to our family by slaying the traitor Johannes, we've basically made everything good again. But now it's time to start New Game Plus and head right back in. So the first thing that's apparent about New Game Plus when you start as the ancestor who you beat as the descendant who you beat the game with. So they're not spared anymore. They're not spared a terrible fate. Also, look at how much money we have from that last run we had in the castle. I'm pretty happy with it, all things considered. Now, there are a few things that are going to change in the game now that we're on New Game Plus. For one thing, I'm pretty sure that we get another modifier for how much money we get. Like, New Game Plus bonus, you can see in the bottom right, bounty is increased by 50%, so we get a massive amount more money than we did before. So that's really going to be nice once we head into the castle. And before we do, again, I just want to go through here and spend the money that we have earned. Spend what we got. Increase Death Defy because that's one of the expensive ones. Max out Downstrike up, and that's almost all of the really expensive, the really expensive things. Death Defy is almost max out, and let's increase our amount of crit damage, and we're poor again. Alright, so I don't know if there's any actual plot or any justification behind why the family or why we're going back into Castle Hampson, or if it's just a New Game Plus just for, just because. I'm gonna think it's just because. And as you can see, we're making a lot of money. Also, the diary entries are all the same. Now, the main difference in New Game Plus is there are no longer Tier 1 enemies. They're all Tier 2 or above. So a lot of enemies you see in the castle who would have originally been Tier 1 enemies have now more or less evolved into Tier 2 enemies. So even Castle Hampson itself, the main area of the game, has become a lot more difficult by that alone. That in mind, all of the enemies and bosses have gotten a level increase, so they are more challenging and more difficult. Also, if I remember correctly, and I might be wrong on this, I think most of the bosses get new tricks up their sleeves, but it might just be Herodotus, because even his little minions get a little bonus, or like upgrade to Tier 2s, like when he summoned the Green Mages, they basically get a boost that they did not get before. So this room's a lot more challenging now, because the pupils, I think these enemies are called pupils, suddenly, they shoot a lot more bullets. You're not dodging just single bullets, but entire streams of them, so this isn't an arrangement I think we would normally see outside of the castle, or at least we wouldn't see it with Tier 2 enemies. So a lot of the challenges that we've seen before have suddenly gotten a lot more challenging. And that's going to be, like, what makes this run so difficult. Like, even though we slayed Johannes as this character who survived throughout the mines, I've already taken a lot of damage here. There's no denying that. But I think we can take care of this guy pretty easily unless he just bonks us. They do have, again, because they are of a higher level, they do take a lot more damage than they did before. Also, I guess we're going to have to wait and see if I have to get the obols for the bosses again, or if I can just fight them after I beat them again normally. Like if I can fight Neo Kidder immediately after I kill Kidder. In which case, I'll probably just fight the new version bosses immediately after I kill the old versions of them, so to speak, just to kind of keep it clean and concise, and just to keep everything in nice and easy to follow order. So if you ever want to see me fight those new bosses, you just need to see the episode where I kill the boss themselves. And I think that should be sufficient. Gigantism is still very useful. As you can see, it really helps, particularly in the New Game Plus castle, to help keep everything at bay, because when everything's huge and level 2, you can get cornered really quickly, and it helps to have some space, and I did not anticipate missiles coming in. I should have, but, well, that's bully for me. And I jumped up into the spikes. Shut up, Dark, I can hear you laughing now. Dark's a friend of mine, by which I mean Smogwastikin. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, we've already found Kidder's door, And we could head in and fight him, but I want to clear out the castle area first, just because that just feels like the most appropriate thing to do. We want to get the money. And we are getting a lot of money from the New Game Plus bonus. We're already at like $8,000. So we're doing pretty good. Not to brag, but I think we're doing quite nicely. However, we're not going to let these enemies fight us on their terms. We're going to fight them on our terms, by which I mean we're still going to get a little messed up by a goddamn portrait of all things. And this guy thinks he's going to stab us, but he's not. And we're starting to also get better chest rewards out of the chests here. They're higher levels, which means they give us more money in general, which are also worth more, and higher quality blueprints. So that's great. Whoa, whoa. Let's just get some space from everybody, because it's kind of a party in here, and I do not want to be invited. But they're all dead. Let's get this coin down here before we forget. And we've found the entrance to the Maya. We're not going to go up there, though. And by we're not going to go up there, I mean we're going to peek our heads into a couple rooms to see if we have any easy treasure chests, because those are nice. It's always nice to get nice and easy treasure chests. Right? Of course I'm right. Well, doesn't look like there are any super easy ones. And of course, the level 1 enemies haven't just been upgraded to level 2. If I remember correctly, and we'll see this as we go on, level 2 enemies have been upgraded to level 3. I think. I could be wrong on that. It might have just been level 1 enemies to level 2 enemies, but, well, we'll see. Also, you may not have noticed, but we still have the blessing, Helios' blessing, which we had when we beat the boss of the game. Like, on the previous run, when we were Sir Lee before, and we're still Sir Lee the second, we got Helios' blessing before we went to fight Johannes, and we still have it. And it's funny, because I did complain, like, because I got Helios' blessing toward the end of that run, and I was like, oh, this would have been good to have earlier on, her. Well, joke's on me, because I have it for this run, and it's going to be super useful. Anyhow, from here it doesn't look like we should have too much left of the castle, but it's taken a million years before, so you know how it is. It could take as long as it wants. That's a long room, so let's go down here first and see what we've got. Not an as long room. Get rid of the portrait, the Doomtrit. Let's put this knife in the Grey Baron's path so he can't really do anything about it. And missiles. Missiles are nothing, man. But yeah, level 90 enemies. Like, if you look up there and you look at the enemies' levels, that helps. Level 93. And so on and so forth. This is kind of a tricky room. However, shouting, thankfully, can help knock the enemies right up into the spikes, and the spikes do a tremendous amount of damage, and they're probably a higher level spikes now, too. Higher level spikes. As silly as that sounds, there probably are levels. Like, they probably have levels the same way everything else has levels. Don't judge me for what I just did there, trying to get the money by jumping in the... Don't judge. And we're... Oh boy, this is really nasty. I don't like this room. Because this dude, the Visionary, he's a jerk. But we killed him. Because it's nice to kill him and get more resupplies and more everything back. And looks like we found the entrance to both the forest, Abkhazia, and down below is the Land of Darkness. The spooky, spooky Land of Darkness. This is not good at all. Okay. But as you can see, I can totally kill the enemies down here. I know I'm gonna die by tempting fate, but I want that treasure chest, damn it. I want the treasure. Ouch. Okay. That could have gone a little bit better. Let's not lie. That wasn't my best performance. But you know, sometimes you can, sometimes you just gotta go big. If you don't always, if you don't go big, you won't get rewarded. And that should have killed me, but it didn't. Let's just shout at these blobbies to keep them in a corner. Because you gotta put the blobbies in the corner, because, you know, if you don't, they'll kill you. Unfortunately, our odds against Kidder, if we even go fight him now, aren't looking super great because of how reckless we were by coming down here and fighting all of this. We really should have known better. But hey, I'm Mr. Devious. Or just Deeb. And I just don't learn. I just do not learn my lesson. So, we're gonna go back and we're gonna take that upper route that we could have taken. And thankfully, we've damn it, that was a lame way to go. I'm sorry, Sir Lee II, but you didn't even get to fight the boss. You killed Johannes, and now you died like this. But at least we made a lot of money in the castle. Oh well, we still have plenty of time to keep going on and on. So for our next life, let's see here. Let's be a spelunkette, because money is great. Money is great, there's no arguing that fact. And we've almost maxed out our ability to Death Defy, and because the game has been telling us to improve our HP, or suggests we improve our HP, I'm gonna do that, because we should have been doing that. Dragon Sword, I should have saved some money for that, but I have to increase our weight before we can get it and get a massive boost to how much damage we do. Like, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing. I mean, it'll be pretty good. It'll be pretty good. Alright, Sharon. Let us in. And let's get to some spelunking down here. Am I right? Or am I right? Okay, so we got some portraits. Oh, wow, we've got a lot of portraits in here, so let's just systematically take them out. Now, the nice thing about going from a giant character to somebody who's not giant is you suddenly feel relieved at how much more air you have, or how much more breathing room you have to work with. Like, don't get me wrong, I love playing as giant characters, but I don't love how big their hitbox is. There's no denying that. Also, is the game lagging a little bit? What's going on here? I don't like the look of it. Well, hopefully that's just not actually an issue, especially with the recording. I would hate to lose some footage on this. Rogue Legacy is not a game you can really do second takes on, unless you keep a second file, or like copy your files and keep it in reserve in case something goes wrong, and that's a lot of work, and I don't have a lot of time to really do all that and plan all that, so here's hoping that nothing goes wrong. On the plus side, I've basically already shown off all the content in the game, if not all in, like, New Game Plus, so that's good. We've also already taken quite a bit of damage, so that's not great. Okay, Mr. Bones, there you go. Got a treasure chest up here, get ourselves some sweet cash. And it looks like there's no mercy for us against these fireballs. I ran right into that. The Spelunkets are going to have a much harder time now. Or the Spelunkers, the term determined, so it wasn't bad. Sir Lee II was still legendary because, as we know, he did kill Johannes. And if you go all the way back to the beginning, I think Johannes is gone now from the beginning of the family tree. Like, he shouldn't be there. Alright. So next, let's be a paladin with eidetic memory, bald, Sir Gons III. Good old paladin. I believe in you. I did not mean to increase that. I meant to increase my equipment weight. It's fine. Because that means we do get more armor. Alright, Sharon, this time it's not going to be so embarrassing. Also, now I can check the time because I actually set up a stopwatch so I can keep track of time rather than just constantly having to tab out and check something else to check what the time is. So that's great. Here we've got ourselves a fairy chest that should be pretty easy to get to, since we're not that huge and we've got a whole bunch of extra jumps. And there we are. Armor increased, very nice. And from here, it's back into the dungeon. Back into the Castle Hampson. Gotta pretty standard puzzle. I don't think that New Game Plus adds any explicitly new rooms. It's just mostly the challenge that comes with having to do a lot of the previous challenges, but with, you know, harder enemies with new patterns themselves. Like, suddenly you're fighting an enemy that can shoot in all these directions, in like 8 directions rather than just 4, and you know, that's a lot different. That's a lot more difficult to deal with. No bones about it. We're getting a lot of rooms with spikes and stuff in them, stuff like that. But it's not too difficult for us to actually handle. There is a secret treasure chest down here. It's a secret treasure. Everybody likes secret treasure, right? I thought so, or I think so. Got a guard box extra large, not a big deal. And we got a spiritual shrine we can pray to, Calypso's Compass. Let's follow it, because if we get to the end and get ourselves some treasure chests, they ought to be very nice. New Game Plus treasure chests? Yes, please. Thankfully, it looks like it's actually not going to be too far away. What's this room? No fighting? Well, I've already failed it. Well, that's just fine. That's just swell. I didn't want to fight these guys anyway, because now I'm committed to finding treasure. And again, whoa, are we gonna have to head up into there? Imperial Sword, nice, even though we already got the blueprint for the better one. It doesn't look like we have to go up into this hell room, but, well, may as well. Except, you know, we didn't have to. But who doesn't like a good challenge? Am I right or am I right? And I mean, we would have to come in here eventually. So it's better to just kind of take care of it now. And I say that, but the better thing would have been to come back after getting the treasure at the end of the compass, but... oh, apparently I'm still really stubborn about the way I do things. Like, even I'm not in agreement with myself. And that's terrible. I'll take care of those 2 guys up there later, though, because they're more difficult to get to and deal with, and I don't want to deal with them right now. But it looks like we're going to have to go up and around or something, because unless... it looks like we should just be able to get where we need to go from here. There are a lot of eyeballs in here, but nothing we can't handle. Oh boy. This is ugly. This is really ugly. But, thankfully, our paladin takes hits pretty well. But it looks like the treasure is even higher up than this. So, unfortunately, we're not quite there yet. It looks like we're gonna have to go up and down and all around, and well, it's just gonna be a challenge. Nope. Axes. Magic is even more useful in the New Game Plus, in like the post game, just because you really need those extra hits. And I mean, we're gonna be putting most of our money into more stat-based upgrades than like specific upgrades, so we're gonna see the benefit of that soon as well, since that's pretty much all of our money we have to worry about now. Why did I do that? Why did I jump up there the way I did? I guess I must have just been getting impatient. Even though you shouldn't get impatient, you can just stay down there. I don't even care. I know you just teleport back, but you know, stay down there. And the treasure chest should be to the directly east of here. So I shouldn't have fought this Doom trick, but this is going to be interesting, because now the ninjas are all more threatening than they were before, and oh boy. The Maya is still tough, and even tougher now so, because of what we have to deal with down here. Okay. Okay, this is ridiculous. Oh. It's a good thing we increased our invulnerability time up, because without that, that would have sucked. Okay. Getting closer. I can smell that treasure. It's gonna be like, oh boy, it's a Worgen. It's a Worgen. How fun. No, 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 no. It's right past that Worgen, too. Okay. And we found it. Fantastic. Awesome. Slayer Cape. And Dark Cape. Ooh, the Dark Cape. That's actually a really rare treasure. In fact, I'm pretty sure that belongs to the final set of armor in the game. So that's really cool that we got that. Like, no bones about it. I was playing, like, the demo for Pokemon Sun and Moon recently, and Team Skull, one of their catchphrases is no bones about it, and I love it. It's so dumb and dorky. It's hilarious. And yes, I did come up here to fight even more skeletons, as it were. Ow! But we should be just fine. I think. Sorry for going quiet there, I just wanted to concentrate a little to make sure that we could kill him and get holy bracers. Look at all this equipment we're getting just on like our first few lives up here. Just in like our first little time in here in general, you know? It's cool. It's awesome. Feels good, man. Dang, though, I had to go through a lot of hallways to get to where I am right now. It's gonna be interesting going up and down and all around to get back in there, but, well, we'll see what we gotta do. But look out for the corrupt Vanguard. And be careful, because when he's holding the spear upward, that does count as a hitbox, I'm pretty sure. Like, maybe I'm nuts, but I'm pretty sure that's still a hitbox. We failed the objective that told us not to fight. Well, bully for them. So now we enter a room with even more fighting. It's brilliant. What could possibly go wrong? Well, oh boy. I almost was responsible for my own demise by bringing him down to my level. However, we were managed to clear out all the enemies in this room that we could. There's a jukebox here. We're not going to fiddle around with that. Sure, let's fiddle around with it, though. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't want to be in here or in here. These are both terrible rooms to be in. Yeah, I do not want to be in here right now. Well, better in here than in there, because at least here we have a better chance of actually getting around these enemies. And we're dead by a portrait. Unless we got a death defy, which we didn't. So, bummer there. Alright. About 23 minutes in. We can afford to do one more. So what are we gonna do? We haven't been a Lich King in a really long time, and I feel bad about that, so let's do it. Let's be Sir Gons IV, the Lich King. First things first, let's see what kind of equipment we do have waiting for us. That's not too much heavier, actually. We got the Imperial Chest. I mean, we already had that one. And these are the Holy Limbs. Holy equipment is very good, but it's very heavy, too. Very heavy. Like, holy crap. And as for the Dark equipment, that's also incredibly heavy. Look at that, though. Vampirism, Siphon, and Air Jump. It's incredibly good. Slayer equipment, meanwhile, has a lot of, like, critical-based stuff. You know, there's just a lot of really good stuff you can get. So first things first, we're going to increase our equip up so that we can actually buy ourselves a new weapon. And we're going to go straight to the Dragon Sword. And it looks sick. It's awesome, dude. Dude. Check it out. Now we're going to be doing a lot more damage in there, and it's going to be looking real pretty like. So let's see how much success we have as the Dragon Lich in the dark, made of paper. This is ridiculous. And again, I've said this before, but I actually am quite a bit of a fan of how it looks. for the Lich, or how Glaucoma looks. Like, I don't mind it. It's not actually too dark to deal with, and it kind of fits the aesthetic of the castle on a whole for it to be dark. I mean, I would still prefer being able to see and not having glaucoma, for God's sake, but, you know, visually it's cool. Visually it doesn't look bad. It's not as bad as, like, Nostalgia or Farsighted or most of the other negative vision impactors and so on and so forth. You know what I'm getting at. I wonder if a miner with glaucoma could use their frickin' mining cap to actually see with glaucoma. That would be cool. This is dangerous. That room was dangerous. But we do need to kill enemies as the Lich if we're gonna, you know, get the most out of it. So the key is going to be, you know, murdering. As always, the answer in life is murder. Unfortunately, we're almost out of mana, because screw our luck. But I want to use the Lich a little more, to be honest. I really do, and it's especially important now, because soon it's going to be, like, really bad to have. And thankfully we were able to kill off these dudes, but we are out of mana now, so... And we're dead. We were exploded by missiles. Oh well. And actually, I think I'm going to stop the episode there, because the 26 minutes, I think that's going to be a good length for an episode. They were starting to get really, really long, and I should probably avoid that, both for my own sake, because I only have so much time to record these, and also for your sake, because they're just easier to watch. So I'm going to stop the episode there. And with that, that'll be the first end of the episode of our first episode of New Game Plus. You know what I'm saying. So I hope you found it interesting, and it definitely gave us a taste of the challenges that are in store ahead for us. But if you want to see more of New Game Plus and the challenges that lie before us once more, then I just hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye!